that whatever question they want to ask her, she will definitely cooperate with the police. But I think the irony part of this stuff is there are actors in this government, including the statement of Gregory Como. They're senior officials of this government that are major players in the drug saga. So it is unfortunate that those individuals are not being invited publicly. They are not being prevented from traveling. Even the vice president, some of the people took pictures with him. We've seen all of those footages in the public. When were he going to be invited? Is it because he's a certain vice president? The most strongest and the most untouchable person in this republic is the LAW, the law. So no one is above the law. When you are suspected to have associated with criminal, you should be invited publicly to be asked. But it's unfortunate that no written communication, no telephone communication with the former vice president, that she was needed just for her to be at the Rawa International Airport, checking all her luggage, and did everything to board the plane. They prevented her. That was so shameful for our country, so disgraceful for our country. But she is cooperating with the law to make sure I am 100% cognizant of the fact that she's a clean person. She will never be involved with it.
Honorable Cole, the Justice Minister and other top officials investigating this drug situation have said that DTOs, drugs operating organizations, were authorized. They were given habitat in Liberia over the past years, and that top officials, former and current, will be brought in. Do you think it was coincidental that the former vice president, was just on her way out at the airport and then she was being engaged and brought in?
Unprofessional cover up from the part of the Minister of Justice, because the first thing, the people who are in your control, you, the Minister of Justice, you, the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, you believe that their current official government that honor your jurisdiction. Don't forget about what you're going to talk about, trying to politicize the matter and drag innocent former official. Those officials that both the
innocent former officials,
both the Minister of Justice and the police IG have alluded to the fact that they are current officials. We want to see them. We're demanding them to publicly arrest those current officials. So why are you not arresting them? Why are you not inviting those current officials that you know? Gregory Como at the press briefing at the Ministry of Information stated they are top officials. So the burden is on them, and we are asking them to make sure that they arrest those people. Let me tell you,
who are the innocent former officials? The innocent former officials.
If you think we'll fold our hands and you try to ravage and savage the opposition and try to discredit or destroy their reputation, we will stand up to the guns. The irresponsibility of this government must come to an end, and they have to make sure justice is transparent. That's what they do it.
CMC wants to now.
No, but listen, 1 minute. You got to be organized with the question. There is no way that the opposition can ever be destroyed by this junta, disorganized, irresponsible, malicious government of the Unity Party. They can. They don't have the moral operandums to destroy us. They are just trying to distract the Liberians. And I'm calling on all the Liberians to keep focus. I'll continue to ask them, put more pressure on Gregory Como. Let him name the current top official. The Minister of Justice appeared before us and said that some of these things were classified information. You're going to talk in camera. Now, today you have not arrested any current official, even though one of the alleged person have been formed with the vice president, the current vice president and his wife. They have seen them, and no arrests have been done.
Be able to see the former vice president.
We were irresponsibly prevented by the police IG. Which we think is wrong. It was evil.
Morocco, today the IG has requested one of your colleagues from the legislature, Amara Kone, to provide, claims or fights to his claims that top government officials are associated with the...
It's laughable. I understand your question. It is laughable that months back, Amara Kone were crying all over and saying that they are rescue Liberia. It's just one of the rescue mission to try to disobey the law. He, Gregory Como, at the press briefing stated they are top officials. So Amara Kone using his statement, I wish I want to believe that there are people that the government is trying to shield. And that suffices. Gregory Como should face that.
Honorable Cole, do you believe in the investigative process?
The law is being invaded by irresponsibility, irresponsibleness of this government. We will stand up, because in the doctrine of negotiation and peace, if the act of peace fail, then it means that the people got to stand up for their rights.
Diamond Slang at Spoon FM and TV. Do you believe that as part of an investigative process, persons of interest are brought in, and that process you could either be eliminated or elevated to suspect level. Do you believe that is part of the process?
But we are only asking them they should be transparent. The first thing that we want the Minister of Justice and Gregory Coma to do is the current officials. Now you are going after past officials. What happened with the official that you know they are current? What have you done to them? It is just low-level people in the police station. You came and said you're trying to see them. But Gregory Coma was emphatic. He said top officials in this government, they are part of the trust. I believe it is 100% a witch hunt. The first thing, let me tell you, you did not send notice. In law, notice is very important. You should have notified the former vice president that you needed at the police station for investigation or for questioning. You did not do that. You did not send a text message. There are no written communication. The woman is now about to leave the country for her medicals, and then you are at the airport after she checking, will fly everything. Then you say, no, don't leave the country. You are on an investigation. This government is so irresponsible.
Of course, well, this is where we are, Spoon TV. We are coming to you live from the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. You just listen to, okay, so let's see if we can talk, we can hear from.
To come up with a statement as
it's
much
not
as
a major setback to the CDC, especially your.
it's not a setback because we know that she'll be free very soon. It's not a setback. I think it's a wish hunt.
Do you think that this would bring some kind of dark cloud over the CDC constantly?
There is no way the Liberian people knows that they knows that CDC, the party CDC or George Weah in person is a man of peace. So there's no way. What I'm gonna do is that right now the Liberians will believe that the police, this government, Joseph Boakai, is trying to wish on the past leaders because they don't want the CDC to come to the power, or neither the opposition to amalgamate their forces. That's what they don't want.
Do you think it's wrong for investigators to call in individuals whom they think will have to aid with investigations, like in this case, a former official, the former vice president? Do you think it's wrong?
So let me say this to you. The first thing is the Minister of Justice could have clearly, or the Justice Minister could have clearly sent a notice to the madam, or else you couldn't have gone to board her flight. So they did not do that, right? Only this morning, time for her to leave the country, and then they're going after her. Bro, this is wrong, and we expect nothing from them because, of course, they are not going to do anything.
So
You think she's going to walk out?
She's innocent. She's innocent. The mother is innocent.
this is security issue. You expect that?
Why you got security? Security who passed the riot? BDP.
Thanks a lot for talking to us. Well, there you have it. The Bone County lawmaker Eugene Colley, and of course, Honorable Josiah Marvin Cole of Bone County. The both lawmakers are from Bone County as well, the very county where the former vice president once served as a senator for. And of course, and they're here this morning. So far, the first batch of lawmakers we've seen here on the grounds of the LNP, or the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. We're looking forward to see what's going to happen. And most of you may be aware that the former vice president, who is now being questioned in there, is the political leader of the NPP, and she also served as former vice president of the Republic of Liberia. Obviously, a lot of there's so much expectation now with respect to what the different political institutions are going to do. What exactly is going to be their stance? Are we going to see what we saw in investigations or invites from the Liberia National Police, wherein supporters gathered at the far end there, chanting anti-government slogans, calling for the release of their political leaders. Like in the case of the former speaker, J. Fonati Kofa, we saw a very good number of seditionists gathered at the very entrance here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, chanting anti-government slogans and terming the entire process as a witch hunt. Former Vice President Joa Howard Taylor being the political leader of the NPP. Are we going to see similar thing? Also considering that she's the former vice president of this coalition that led the country for 6 years, are we going to see similar thing? But what the atmosphere here is that the former vice president remains in there. Usually these processes will go for some time. The questioning will take place. She will be engaged. We saw the current head of the LDEA, Zian Khan, also in there. And other top officials, the investigators are in there as well. They're going to be asking the former vice president a couple of questions. Two things are going to happen here at the end of the day. One is that the former vice president, following the line of questions, the cross-examinations, and all of those pieces of information that the investigators want, could just walk out free and perhaps go back to board her flight, go back to, re-embark on her trip, or we could see charges being pressed against the former vice president. She could be elevated from just that person who should aid with the investigation to being a suspect. And once it gets to that level, then of course, you know exactly that there are several restrictions that comes with that. The two lawmakers we've spoken to so far have all said that they believe that this is part of the investigative process, but the fact that the former vice president was not served an official communication, like in the case of the former speaker, J. Funati Kofa, where he was officially invited to come at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police to provide pieces of information. Of course, that is exactly what their issue is. The EPS bus, as you see, just arriving here this morning, is a very tight security presence here this morning. Of course, the EPS bus, the vehicle there with the... All right. So there you have the head of the Executive Protection Service, Sam Gay, making his way LNP. And of course, this is where we are. Spoon TV, thanks for joining us. All right, so and we are posted, making sure we can bring you up to speed with the happenings here this morning, every step of the way. We did see the arrival of the LDEA boss, the Director General of the LDEA, the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. He did arrive here this morning. We saw the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police, who came in and then subsequently made his way out. We're now seeing the head of the Executive Protection Service, Sam Gay. He just arrived here. The heads of the joint security are all making their way here, as this is, as most of you are aware, a major drugs investigation going on for the first time in Liberia. This investigation is the biggest so far from the 19 million drugs bust at the Rabat International Airport. We're now talking about over 300 million drugs bust that took place at the in Margibi, in Dwazon, that has led or re-intensified this entire investigation. And that is exactly why this investigation is very important. And this morning, Liberians waking up to the news of the invite for the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia is another thing that has stood out this morning and has caught the attention of hundreds and thousands of Liberians across the world. Liberians now want to know what's exactly going to happen, especially now that the former vice president has been invited. Most of you are aware that the former vice president happens to be the third, that's the second person, the second most powerful individual in the country for the past 6 years. It would not have crossed the mind of anybody, over the time that former Vice President Jua Howard Taylor will be invited at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police in the midst of such investigation. But this is exactly where we are. The former vice president is in there. There's a tight security presence, as you see there. Well-armed police officers in the entire premises here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. We're looking forward to see what happens hereafter. As to whether charges will be pressed against the former vice president, as to whether she will be elevated to a suspect. These are information that will definitely remain posted to bring you up to speed about here this morning. So this is where we are this morning. Thanks for joining us, Spoon TV. I'm Nelson Colette, Emmanuel Phillips on camera this morning, and we are posted here, making sure we can bring you up to speed with the happenings here this morning. And of course, journalists are here in a very good number. Different media, that is because of the gravity, the weight of this entire situation here. We're not talking about just an ordinary Liberian citizen, or maybe just someone from just anywhere. We're talking about the person who occupied the second most powerful office in Liberia for 6 years. All right. The former vice president of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Jua Howard Taylor, served as First Lady of the Republic of Liberia under the administration of former President Charles Dakpana Gange Taylor, when she served as First Lady of the Republic of Liberia, after which the former vice president then contested in Bon County. She won as a senator of Bon County, having served as senator of Bon County for several years. The former vice president then got handpicked through a rigorous process, giving the coalition from the NPP angle and the CDC, of course, those political parties coming together to unseat the Unity Party. The CDC formed a coalition with the Unity Party, with the NPP and that of the LPDP of former Speaker Alex Tyler, now Senator of Bombing County. Those three political parties came together, formed a strong coalition that saw the defeat of the Unity Party in 2017. Of course, that particular movement set the stage for the former First Lady of the Republic of Liberia, the former Senator of Bon County, to now become the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. That position she occupied for 6 years, and of course, Liberians, a lot of people would not have thought that a day like this will come when the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia, who has served in several powerful positions in the country, will be invited by the very Liberia National Police that she sat far over, to some extent. As vice president of the Republic of Liberia, she occupied an office that was far higher than maybe the justice minister and so forth. But we're here this morning, and this is why, in fact, this has come as a shock to so many people across the world that the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia is now being investigated. She's being questioned. She's being cross-examined, and the investigators are trying to establish facts, circumstances, information surrounding this investigation. Of course, we are going to fall back a little. But we remain posted here, making sure we can bring you up to speed. With the happenings here this morning. This is Spoon TV. We are coming to you live from the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. Of course, this is where we are this morning. We remain posted here, making sure, as you see in the background, the beast are packed right there. Men have been in action this morning since about 8 a.m. this morning. The former vice president of the Republic of Liberia, had decided to board a flight when she was being engaged by officers of the Liberia National Police, and requested to come here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police to aid with the investigation. And information we've gathered. We spoke briefly with Honorable Eugene Colley of Bond County and Representative Marvin Coe as well of Bond County. Those lawmakers have been saying to us that the former vice president was on her way for some medical, attention and so forth when she was being picked up this morning. So this is exactly where we are. Thanks for joining us. We're going to remain posted here as we bring you up to speed with the happenings here every step of the way. I see Israel Akinsaya here this morning. And I see Ben Sevi as well. Of course, Honorable Akinsaya, welcome to Spoon TV. How are you? I see you're here this morning. Is it in connection with the vice president? Okay. Honorable Sevi, how are you this morning?
I'm good.
Okay. I see you're here this morning. Is it in connection with the presence of the vice?
Of course, she's my mother, but they will do what they got to do. We are waiting.
All right.
We are waiting. I just got in the country last night, so
All right. Welcome to Liberia. Thanks a lot for talking to us. All right. So this is where we are. And yes, so a lot of people will obviously continue to make their way here this morning. And a lot of people will continue to make their way here here this morning. Former representatives, as you know, the former vice president served in several key positions. And obviously there will be a lot of people making their way here in solidarity, in show of support, making sure they can. Let's take the police spokesman.
But we think that what you're doing right now is to reach out to entities like the Ministry of Information, the Ministry of Justice, the LTEA, and the Liberia National Police for credible and verified information. Because we are in a critical time. Everybody seems to have some level of information that they want to feed the audience with. But the negative of that is that you want to feed your audience. Yeah, it is good to update your page. It is good to share information with your audience. But what kind of information, especially when it comes to this investigation, what kind of information are you sharing? So it's a concern to the Liberia National Police. Because we don't want people lying to the public when you have not verified the information that you're supposed to.
Information you don't want for the public to consult.
We don't want you giving misleading and inaccurate information. Misleading and inaccurate information. So if you have doubt to this investigation, come over. That is why I was informed that the press was dying and I needed to come to talk to you guys.
Are you officially speaking to the press today?
Today, I've been informed that today there will be a press briefing, and some of the questions that I cannot answer will be answered within that briefing.
I'm concerned. Did the police and the investigators send a crowd notice?
That is not important right now. That is not important to the investigation. What is important to the investigation is that the former VP has answered the call of the Joint Security, and that was done in a very honorable manner, and we are grateful for that. I'm here with you. You take your own time. I said that is not important right now.
You say she was informed and cleaned herself or in an honorable manner.
No, don't misquote me.
Okay. You said
the journalist, your code want to know, like normally person of interest will be named, right? So, but the strategy changes over time. So if we did not come in the press and say this person is a person
of interest. What is so different about this strategy that changes?
If we do not come and say, oh, Moses Brown is this and that.
So what do you say to those who say this strategy is on this one?
Which one? No, I'm not here to respond to just anybody's opinion. Anybody who say that this whole thing is a vision, they are entitled to their opinion. Opinions are like noses. Everybody still here have one, and so I cannot speak to somebody.
On the flip side, I want to do. There's this internet drama from
yeah.
several lawmakers, stakeholders at the police headquarters. To clear the airway, is the police using Starlink as the official source of internet here at the headquarters?
No, the official source of internet here at the Liberia National Police is the telco, and we are given money through the budget. The budget line tells you exactly how much is in the budget for internet. The government provides the internet through the government system. So we are not using Starlink in this building. The LNP is not using Starlink. The LNP is using the telco. Go to the Ministry of Finance, you can find out. Go to the telco, you can find out. Go to the budget, you can find out. So people who will just say deliberately on different platforms and say that we are using Starlink, we're all giving you any, if we can present document to you that we are using the telco internet, but the guys who are saying that we are using Starlink cannot present one paper to you. So the question now is, we turn the question back to them. Say, hey, when you say that the police is using Starlink, show all your evidence. Don't just blow it out and you come back to me and come ask me a question. Go to the budget and see what happened there.
A lot of people.
Come in, go to the Ministry of Finance. Let the whole team move from here. Go to the telco and let us show you document. That is where we get our internet from. Comrade.
A lot of people are concerned now that the former vice president is in there. How long is he going to be in there for? What is the atmosphere like in there?
No, I've not been in the room, and I cannot speak to the atmosphere. But the police being a very professional institution, the atmosphere will always be cool.
Yeah, it's a percent. Like Davis. Why is it today? From a vice president in Patel. Why not yesterday? Why not other today's person way? I mean, personal duty for travel.
Because today is the day.
All right.
On recordings on the flip side,
Yeah.
Can you give us information whether the invitation extended to Bapolo County Senator Amara Conley has been responded to by him or by his lawyers?
No, I don't have information concerning that.
All right. Thanks a lot for talking to us. All right. So we're here, folks, still posted, making sure we can bring you up to speed with the happenings here this morning. We're still at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. It's a very busy atmosphere here this morning. Law enforcement officers present from every corner. And of course, you also have a very good number of media practitioners here this morning. Journalists have also gathered here this morning to ensure that the information can be brought in, reported as it unfolds. And of course, Liberians woke up this morning to the information about former Vice President Joe Howard Taylor being picked up while making her way out of the country. According to Honorable Marvin Cole, the former Vice President was making her way for medicals. And in the process, she was being stopped by law enforcement officers. Then she was being asked to make her way here. She was being asked to make her way here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. All right. And so this is where we are.
All right, folks, as Nelson readjusts himself, I will take over commentary until he can be back on your screens. That's how we do it. We are interchangeably providing you this coverage. It's a breaking news. It's a fluid story. It's happening now as we speak. The former vice president arrived here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police at exactly 16 minutes up to 10 a.m. this morning. So to give you the exact time, she arrived at around 0944. That's the time she arrived here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. But when I arrived earlier this morning, the headquarters of the Liberia National Police wasn't as busy as it is now. You see a lot of movements. You see a lot of manpower being deployed all around the headquarters. All of the entrances have been cordoned off with police vehicles and police personnel serving as double layer sort of barriers. Before you access this ground that provides other public services, you must be screened. This is what is happening here. The beast is just right behind me as to what the purpose is. This is the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, so it has got all rights to be here. It's one of the vehicles in their motor pool. But what we can tell you as well is we've been seeing the trickling in of representatives and the rest. They are here. We saw Eugene Colley as well as we did see Marvin Cole. They made their statements. The country is still waking up to this news, or the country has waken up to this news as well. But the former vice president is a person of interest as we speak. So what this means in the criminal investigation process is she is not a suspect. Let's get that clear. She's not a suspect. A person of interest is somebody who has got information, whose name has been mentioned, who law enforcement feels has got some information or played some role allegedly, and they need to question that person and present pieces of evidence before that person. That person is innocent until proven guilty before a court of competent jurisdiction. We have not even gone through the court process yet, so we shouldn't be jumping and putting the cart before the horse. How this works is, if your name is mentioned, whether once or repeatedly, or law enforcement has got reasons to believe you got roles or you played certain pivotal roles, or they believe that you've got some connection to what is ongoing with the investigation, they bring you in to aid the investigation or investigators. And in the process, this could be one visit at the headquarters or one visit with investigators. It could be multiple visits. It could be, you know, your name being de-escalated from a person of interest to totally off the list, or it could be your name being elevated from a person of interest to a suspect. So all of these things play, and all of the lawmakers we spoke to, opposition lawmakers that have arrived, namely those from Bond County, they have said they believe this is part of the process, but the process, according to them, is a politically motivated one. But what happens in there, investigators are apolitical and they use their investigative techniques. So the vice president has been in there for a while. The former vice president, she's been in there for a while. Up to now, police authorities haven't informed us as to which one of the ongoing drug investigations she's currently being asked questions about. We cannot tell you how long that process is going to take. Sometimes it takes hours upon hours to investigate someone, but what we can tell you is those in there include the latest top security chief to arrive is Sam Gay, the director of the EPS, Liberia's own version from the United States of America, is also now in the building. But this morning we saw the presence of the Inspector General of Police, Colonel Gregory Coleman, and the DG of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, the newly appointed DG, that is retired Major General Daniel Zianka, also there as well. Zianka is just less than a week in that role, and now we've seen Madam Jua Howard Taylor being brought in for questioning. I asked Sam Collins, the spokesperson of the Liberia National Police, as to the manner and way in which she was asked not to leave the country, whether or not prior notice was served to her that she shouldn't leave the country, that she's undergoing an investigation and all of that. His answer to me verbatim was, it is not important. What's important is she's currently here. That particular question was spoken to by Marvin Cole of Bond County, who said, look, the former vice president should have been notified that she's under investigation, whether written, whether through text or through any form of channel, that she cannot leave the country, and then she wouldn't have gone to the airport attempting to leave the country. As it stands, others are speculating that the former vice president might have probably been given a hint, and she was using the Women's Forum in Accra, Ghana, to get out of the country. All those things are speculative pieces and conspiracy theories, but what is factual is, since 9:44 a.m. this morning, former Vice President Jua Howard Taylor entered those barred gates of the Liberia National Police main entrance. She was flanked by her counsel, Kabina Jane, former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, Ezra Akinsaya, once commissioner of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, has also left the building. He accompanied her when she entered. She is wearing a maroon-like dress and maroon sandals to match. To a Liberia that it was raining this morning, the rain has subsided and the sun is gradually taking its position. A day that started as a warm day, as a cold day in terms of weather, warm in terms of what's happening in the country, is now warming up in terms of the weather. As to how long she will stay with investigators, we cannot tell you what that amount of time is going to be like. But what we can tell you is we are definitely going to be here. And the former vice president in these ongoing investigations is the biggest of names thus far. All this unraveled on the 8th of June, 2026 at the Roberts International Airport, when 19 million worth of cocaine was seized or confiscated while being en route out of the country through Belgium to the United Kingdom. A country was shaken, and this entire drug scandal unraveled before our faces. And then just weeks after that, $317 million worth of mixed cocaine and other drugs were seized along the RRA highway through a joint security operation. That alone itself in recent years is Liberia's biggest drug bust, a country that has also had the issue of $500 million worth of drugs, $100 million worth of drugs, and now $317 million worth of drugs plus $19 million worth of drugs. The government has said they are doing everything to dismantle the cartel. The opposition have said the country is what they termed a narco state. Between those debates, President Bwaga has said he's committed to dismantling the cartel. We've seen twists and turns, like the latest twist, the Great Pickup saga, evolving down dismissed former OIC of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, Fitzgerald Biago. That was another chapter. We did see Johnny Boladin, former 106 of the Liberia National Police, arrested on that named and dismissed on issues of allegedly receiving $10,000 in bribe for cocaine suspects here at the Liberia National Police headquarters. We then saw Doe of the NSA, formerly of the NSA, dismissed for allegedly being involved with this entire drug saga and the investigation that is ongoing. The police inspector general stated that big names, state actors, and the rest will be named. Joa Howard Taylor, past vice president of the Republic of Liberia, still a very influential person in the country, is now facing investigators as to what is going to be the next step in this investigative process. All we can tell you is this is step one. When you are named as a person of interest, you are brought in either through your willing volition, or you are brought in accompanied by state security. Joa Howard Taylor said she was on her way herself. The police director and the DEA boss departed here, and they brought her and escorted her to the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. What happens next? We can only tell you. We will be here to bring that to you. So Nelson Colette is going to come back to his commentary duties as we keep bringing you coverage live here. The media is well represented as well. The beast is still lurking just behind my back. The beast is lurking. Other police vehicles are all around. The men are posted with their various equipment, whether tear gas, canister, gun, or automatic rifles. It is well solid here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. So Nelson is going to take over his commentary duties.
All right, so folks, this is where we are. All right, so folks, this is where we are again. Thanks for joining us. We're still here, posted live at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. As you see at the far end there, journalists are seated, of course, doing everything it will take to remain posted here to bring the information to you live. Officers of the Liberia National Police are posted at the far end there, well-armed officers posted in the full gear, making sure that there's maximum security here. At the far end there, at the very entrance of the headquarters of the Liberia National Police has been declared, for now, at least a no-go zone. All journalists, media practitioners, and those wanting to be within this vicinity are asked to stay off that particular entrance. As you see here, of course, right in the background, the beast, of course, is parked right there, making sure that Liberians, the LNP, can be in full swing just in case. As you see at the far end there, that is the courtyard. Given the gravity of what's happening here, you have Liberians trooped in from that inn, gazing from afar, wanting to know with all level of curiosity, high anticipation, eager to know exactly what's going to happen here at the end of the day. And this is where we are. Thanks for watching Spoon TV. We're posted here live at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, making sure we can bring you up to speed with all of the happenings here this morning. Former Vice President Joa Howard Taylor, the second most powerful person in the Republic of Liberia for the past 6 years, is here at the headquarters of Liberia National Police, currently answering questions. She's been invited by the joint security in the face of a major drugs investigation that's going on in the country for the past couple of weeks and making it a few months. The conversation about narcotic substance in Liberia has been a major one, and First, it was the drugs bust at the Rabat International Airport. 19 million worth of cocaine was busted at the Rabat International Airport. That situation created panic amongst Liberians, especially those who have been very concerned about the proliferation of narcotic substance in the country. A lot of people saw it as a slap in the face of the fight against drugs in Liberia. So many people were shocked because a lot of people did not expect that quantity of drugs would have been discovered at the Rabat International Airport. 19 million worth of drugs busted at the Rabat International Airport. But while that conversation was going on, then we saw the biggest bust in the history of Liberia, one that left a lot of people talking about not just the proliferation of the substance in the country, but a lot of people now started to ask the critical question as to whether Liberia even has a market for that quantity of cocaine, 19 million. Then subsequently, we started to talk about over 300 million worth of cocaine busted in Dwazon, Margibi County. All of these have re-intensified, reinvigorated, and reinforced the investigation that's been going on, but that's been going on headed by the Joint Security. And of course, the Drugs Enforcement Agency, the Liberia National Police, the Executive Protection Service, the Liberia Immigration Service, and all other security operators in the country have been very engaged with this process. In the phase of the investigation, we've seen big heads rolled. We've seen top officials at the level of the Liberia National Police being suspended or dismissed. In the Joint Security, we've seen lots of actions being taken so far, with individuals suspended while others were being dismissed. And on the flip side, other people were being brought on board. While the investigation continues, we've also seen the involvement of some of our international partners, of course, coming to the country, making sure that they can form part of this investigation so that we get to a logical conclusion. In the phase of the investigation, we did see the Justice Minister appeared at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing. Councillor Twed disclosed that this investigation, the cocaine, the drugs investigation that's ongoing in Liberia, is bigger than what Liberians think. It's far bigger than what we've seen, and there are big heads that are going to roll. The Justice Minister did talk about the involvement of some big guns with this entire process. Not too long, then we saw the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police took the stage, and he went on to talk about how the top officials, current officials, and former officials of government have been involved with this particular situation, and that is why the investigation is still ongoing. He did say that pieces of information that they've gathered so far, they will not disclose, but